views, and not those of radio station KICK. Vision Communications Incorporated, its management, or advertisers. Vision Communications Incorporated is not responsible for the validity or accuracy of information presented on this program.
Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Norm Shealy and Dr. Shealy-Sorin. Get the health answers you need from the creator of holistic medicine and the 2020 Holistic Doctor of the Year. To be a part of the show, call 417-447-1777. Wellness Wednesday. Now, here are your hosts, Dr. Norm Shealy and Dr. Shealy-Sorin.
Today, DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone, responsible for your health, your immune system, your brain, your muscles, your bones. It's the key to health.
DHEA is one of the most quintessential factors in stress management. It's the opposite of the cortisol.
Well, it comes about
Yeah.
as a response to cortisol. You get up cortisol, DHEA comes in, push you back down.
Exactly. And the key and the concept is we are under a stress attack, all of us, whether it be, whatever the factors are.
Especially in the last 9 months.
Especially in the last 9 months. And whenever the stress levels go up, DHEA goes down, illness comes out.
And interestingly, in the healthiest of individuals, you peak making it at age 25. And no matter how healthy you are, how unstressed you are, it goes down so that by age 80, the average person has 10% of what they had at age 25.
Exactly. And actually, what are some of the numbers if you were to measure the DHEA? Do you remember that?
Well, that's what's important about that is there's only one accurate lab in the country. Don't waste your time, money, and blood at any lab except Nichols in Capistrano, California, and don't bother with anything except DHEA. DHE sulfate is a waste of money as well because it's not available. DHEA is your free DHEA. In a woman, it ranges supposedly from 130 to 980 nanograms per milliliter. In a man, from 180 to 1250 nanograms per milliliter. But I've never seen a patient with a healthy level, no matter what they're complaining. The healthy level in a man is 750 to 1250. The healthy level in a woman is 550 to 980 nanograms per deciliter.
What I like about that graph and that understanding is that even though you might be in the range of what may be normal, now the range of normal is not normal. It's not a normal for your health. But if you start to slip and you get into the moderate or low range, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that disease, mental, emotional, physical, chronic illness sets in.
You're on a slide towards death.
That's right. So so there are 4 ways to raise DHEA naturally, making it without taking it. Let's go over it.
The easy way is Fire BLISS. That's at the top of my list. Takes you 30 seconds a day.
Since we're in Fire BLISS and since we just completed the course, it's going to be released in today's Friday on Transcutaneous Acupuncture, which includes Fire BLISS. Let's take a little step into a direction of BLISS oils, and let's talk briefly about all 5 and Fire especially.
Well, these are circuits in the body that are related to optimal health. If you're fire, air, water, earth, and crystal are normal, you're healthy. Now, again, they're all out of whack in people without perfect health.
And fire specifically raises DHEA.
And it not only raises DHEA and gives you more energy and everything else, it actually helps people with 75% of people with frequent migraine. It is the greatest thing we know as a single treatment for rheumatoid arthritis. It relieves chronic low back pain 70% of the time. It brings people out of depression 70% of the time.
Lots of benefits.
Yes. Now, that's the first of the 4. The second is, of course, Dr. Shealy's youth formula. Each of these separately raises DHEA an average of 60%.
Now, let's talk about youth formula and what's in it. We're talking about 4 ways of raising DHEA. Youth formula: vitamin C, molybdenum, MSM, and beta-1,3-glucan.
Yes, all of those are essential.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's natural progesterone cream, the only hormone I personally recommend for men and women. And it raises DHEA, and you use it once a day, an average of 60%.
And we forgot, or we didn't talk about one more very important one: magnesium.
And only magnesium lotion.
Yes.
Magnesium orally is a waste of money and time. But if you do all 4 of these, then it raises DHEA an average of 250%. You get an extra 10% benefit on top of the individuals.
Wonderful. Now, what's the length of time that we can expect a person to go up?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. So that means if a person starts, they have to be consistent with the process.
Right. Now, actually, I have actually measured DHEA immediately before Fire Bliss, and 30 minutes after, it's already beginning to go up. But to keep it up, you've got to do it every day.
And just to say, there's a few very natural, easy ways to raise DHEA as well: happiness, laughter.
Even artificial laughter. You don't have to, it doesn't even have to be funny. Just laughing for 5 minutes raises DHEA. And simple moving. 15 minutes of just doing this will raise your DHEA.
Or exercise that a person likes.
Or any kind of exercise. But
Right.
But even just this. And of course, being outside in the sun.
That's right.
And let us not forget libido.
Yes.
Although that's DHEA is critical of it, if you exercise your libido on a regular basis, it also keeps your DHEA up.
Fantastic. So basically, all the things that are good for people, make you feel good, raises DHEA. Things that make you feel bad, guess what? It's going to drop your DHEA. Now, there is, interestingly enough, there is actually a package which is a discounted, especially given the situation that we have and that the world needs this, on www.realholisticdoc.com, and I think our technical folks will put a link or two on there as we speak. But let's go back to the concept of transcutaneous acupuncture, because Fire Bliss is indeed a concept of transcutaneous acupuncture. We had a show
Maybe we should explain what transcutaneous means.
Please.
I mean, officially it means across the skin, but it means you're accomplishing the same thing that can be done with a needle,
Mm-hmm.
with an oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a safe oil. And so you just touch the spot. You don't even have to press it very hard. Just one little touch and twist, and you go to the next point. It takes only 30 seconds to do all 12 points.
Mm-hmm. And safe, and you can do it without any other provider with you.
Exactly. You don't have to go to the office or to the clinic or any place else to get it done. You do it at home.
Yep. Now, there is I want to go over, and I'd like to mention there is 4 other Bliss oils and there's 5th Bliss oil that I'm really excited about, by the way.
Yes.
So let's go briefly through the 4 others, because there's actually a package or a combination that you can get the whole thing for, well, a pretty attractive package. It's $145, I believe, discounted. There should be a link on the YouTube Live or somewhere there. But the concept and the idea is you get all 5 of these circuits, each with their individual benefits, as a package. And we just recorded a course value of $399, I'm told, and I think it's more than that. But it's going to be available again. We had a promotional offer last radio, where we offered, if you buy a set of the 5 Bliss oils, not just one like Fire Bliss for DHEA, but a set of 5, you'll get not only that discount, but you'll get a course for free, and that's a value of $399. Now, how much is that education worth if you don't do the course? Nothing, zero. But if you do it, it's fantastic. Of course, anything that to utilize anything, you have to utilize it. So, but go ahead, please.
Well, my next favorite is air, which raises oxytocin. It is the nurturing, the bonding hormone. And it also is essential for happiness, especially. Every known disease, is associated with low
Oxytocin.
oxytocin.
And neurotensin. Neurotensin is associated with, it's another
Now,
neurohormone.
and stimulating air bliss is useful in 80% of people with depression.
Ah, wonderful.
So it's, definitely worth using as well. Now, water bliss is one of the most interesting because we usually talk about something being deficient, but in water, we're talking about aldosterone, a hormone which can be either high or low. And so it can cause hypertension, congestion, edema. My favorite case was a 29-year-old man who had congenital lymphedema. His legs, all his life, had been twice normal size. Within 1 month of stimulating the ring of water, his legs for the first time in 29 years were normal size.
Wonderful.
And if you combine water bliss with fire bliss, you boil the water and it helps you lose weight. So it's good for hypertension and it can be good for all these other things.
And of course, there's crystal and earth. Crystal is what I love about crystal. It's got a. They all smell nice, by the way. But the crystal to me is if I'm gonna spend some time enjoying the aroma, I would spend it with crystal. And that's free radical reduction. Free radicals is what ages us. It's what destroys the cells in our bodies.
Kills us. And this is the only known thing that reduces free radicals a whopping 80%. And we've got people who started off with 5+ free radicals, reduced 80% over a 2-year period, as long as they're using the crystal bliss.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Many people don't realize the importance of that. And of course, earth is, that's calcitonin.
Calcitonin is the hormone for keeping your bones from falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, milligram for milligram or whatever, nanogram for nanogram, is stronger than morphine as a pain reliever. So it keeps your bones strong and also helps pain.
So, in this entire thing, so you can certainly get one oil or one ring for one benefit, but my general concept is I like to optimize. I like to know that I'm doing my very best physically, mentally, emotionally, and the value here is just truly fantastic. So again, I'm just going to say it one more time, but I do want to address some other very important informational things that we need to get out there. But the idea is that right now, at this point, we have a set of the 5 bliss oils for 145, and you get whoever decide to do that. Not only is it the benefit of that, but the course itself, $399 value. And if you want to get the rest of the DHEA, there's that package right there. Powerful stuff. Dr. Shealy, let's. What's the very next thought that's on your mind? Because I already know where you're going. With things. What's besides DHEA and the transcutaneous acupuncture? What is the most underlying reason? The most important essential.
Health and longevity.
Health and longevity.
And
That's
that
right.
takes us to telomeres, the tips of your DNA.
Perfect. Yes. And there's 3 oils, 3 sets.
And again, this is important. Just as with the DHEA, it takes specific uses. If you want to regrow your telomeres, then you need to use fire, earth, and crystal. The others are important, but they don't regrow your telomeres.
But this is only for the people who want to live
healthy
and long. Okay. I know there's interestingly
despite the world.
So some of my clients lately have been telling me that, the way the world is going, I'm not sure I want to live longer, but but the bottom line is no matter what's happening, just make the best of it,
Detach from the crud.
Detach from what you cannot control. Let go of the crap, the nonsense. Let's talk about another huge essential factor, because DHEA is the anti-stress hormone, but stress itself, it's enough to kill 10% of the telomeres decrease in a year. I mean, that's terrible.
But stress is anger, guilt, anxiety, depression. That's 99% of the time, those are part of it. Now, it can also be chemical. It can also be radioactive, but it's the mental emotional reaction that is the number one cause of disease.
And of course, there's many ways of dealing with stress, but the first one is for, I would say, just recognize that it's there
Well, and then
and acknowledge
and do an anti-stress
and do an anti-stress.
program,
That's right.
starting with plain old autogenic training, basic shoes.
And by the way, that's part of our biogenics program, which is
Exactly.
beautifully outlined, over 68 exercises now on all sorts of things, mind, body, spirit. So that's just that's another wonderful option for anyone who wants to learn how to deal with the world better.
So people who are overcome, if you will,
Hmm.
and can't function well no matter what, they can practice biogenics 6 or 8 hours a day, and it's the greatest thing they can possibly do.
Well, that's what we do in our intensives.
Well, they can do it
Anyhow.
at home with the biogenics program.
You could.
I mean, we can guide them,
Yeah.
but we can't do it for them.
It's the decision to be proactive. And again, the idea with all of these things is that you want to get your health to the place where you're not dependent on anybody else. In other words, it's good to have resources, it's good to have guidance, but an example that I would give is, for example, if something happened, let's say just everything went out, lights, grid, the entire thing, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. Is your body okay? Is your mind okay? Are you strong enough to survive, and for how long? In other words, what is your health, mental, emotional reserve, and do you have those tools? And that's, if you don't, then it's time to pick some up, because that's the most important thing you can do. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Well, if I were going, I would want to just do autogenics all the way.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
much
Right.
more fun than suffering.
Well, and again, just to refresh, autogenic training is one of the best. It's a self resetting technique so that you can deal with stress, but you can also control yourself.
Well,
Or
again,
self-regulation.
it allows you to detach from the drivel and the crud in life.
Yes.
And the number one thing is, there's no point wallowing in manure. Detach.
And if you can do something about it, don't waste your time. Don't let your energy get wasted, and just take care of yourself. Do the things that you can. That's all. That's all there is to it. Simple. Yeah.
Okay? Should we open up?
We sure can.
Then let's go ahead and talk about the rest of life as we know it. And very shortly, you can call us at 417-447-1777. But I do like to remind you that there are a few places and things we like to recommend. And at the top of that list is Dr. Jill, the one acupuncturist in the world that I can strongly recommend if you want to consider acupuncture for anything. Dr. Jill at Wellness Concepts Clinic, 1200 East Woodhurst, R300, and the phone number 417-877-1300, wellnessconceptsclinic.com. And good afternoon.
One acupuncturist in the world. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Oh, did I get a person?
You-
Oh, my God, I'm so
Yes.
excited.
You got two people,
I-
actually 3 people here.
Great. I've been trying to get through for 2 weeks, and it kept ringing busy. I'm so excited. So, may I ask you my question?
That's what we're here for.
Fabulous. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Shealy. You probably don't remember me or my father. This is Edith Gillette, and my dad had a brain injury and came to your pain clinic like 25 years ago after falling off the horse. And he and I did the training with you and Carolyn in your barn like 30 years ago. So I'm a great admirer of your work and you, and just think you're amazing. So bought all your books and all that. So I'm 58 now. I have a great life. Meditate 2 hours a day. Do your autogenic training 2 or more hours a day. Exercise every day. Have a great life. Great husband. Everything. So I was taking bioidentical progesterone and estrogen, but I'm trying to just get off as much non-plant-based things as possible. So I got your package. So I have your DHEA package, and then also which include, and all the BLISS oils. I got all those. And so my 2 questions are this. One is, do you recommend I just stop? And I understand you can't prescribe all that stuff. I'm not, a setup for all the feds and everybody. But I just wanted to see if I should keep taking the estrogen, whether you recommend it. What you, in your experience, you've seen people do best, just doing the estrogen or the progesterone, wild GM, DHE package, and not bioidentical estrogen, or to keep doing the estrogen. That's the first
What
thing.
I would do is stay on the estrogen for 1 week and the full package. At the end of the first week, go to every other day. And at the end of the second week, stop the estrogen and stay on the package.
Okay, third week. Okay, week stop. Okay, fabulous. Okay, the second question is that when I was doing all the bliss oils and all the acupressure points every day, but in the past I had overdone essential oils, and so I'm having this detox thing where my skin starts itching on my arms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a far infrared sauna several times a week. I do the negative ion foot bath several times a week.
Wonderful.
I'm switching to be more alkaline. I do intermittent
Fasting. Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All organic food. We grow ourselves. I juice. I have a phenomenal life. It's great.
Wonderful.
But
You are phenomenal. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really blessed. I mean, I have a really amazing space. So we sprout our own stuff and all that. So I didn't know, do I just pause on the bliss oils, or do I just keep doing them? I mean, I have welts on my arm, literally, from, I think, just stuff coming out. And I've even done clay baths, alkaline clay baths to draw things out. So
a strong recommendation: castor oil suits. After your shower or bath, rub castor oil from the bottom of your neck down to your wrists, front and back, down your whole body to your ankles, and then put on a sweatsuit and sleep in it every night for 5 nights.
Okay, great.
It is the greatest detoxifier in the world, and very
Fabulous.
safe.
I'll add a little more to the question that you had as well originally. Do you stop the bliss oils during this process? Now, if you're reactive to everything, and again, when you're going through a detox, it's a good thing in the end, but
Right.
it's unpleasant while it's going. And should you apply something transcutaneous? Now, you're stimulating circuits, acupuncture points. Now, if you find that the oils don't cause any more additional or other harm or discomfort during this process on those points, then continue with that. But if you find that those points are more pronounced for whatever reason, then maybe during the time of the detox, just don't do anything with the skin other than the basic, washing or essential.
Okay, and then another question arises now that you bring up that. I'm also friends with Nisha Money.
Mm-hmm.
She's my friend, and so she told me, she showed me your scalar machine with the sapphire and all that. So I have that in the bedroom.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And then I
the
also
scalar.
have yes, I love that. And then I have the pen spoil, which I sleep with, which is a godsend. I couldn't sleep without that because it helps me with the pain, hip pain stuff. But anyway,
one second, sorry. Yeah, please continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also have this machine called Spooky 2. Do you know about that? It's a rice machine, and they have a scalar machine.
I know about, I don't really trust any of the reconstituted rice machines. Maybe you should hold on while we have a break.
Okay. And we'll continue on the Facebook Live. You got it. But stay on the line with us, yeah? All right.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can continue talking, actually. That's fine. We have, until we come back on. So, yes, now you were going to say something else about the... so we're talking about a rife machine, the concept.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's not. I'm not a great fan of it because Rife had a 60,000 power microscope. He didn't use any of his stuff without that. But without the microscope to know what you're doing, it's toss your dice.
I did have some positive feedback from people. Again, it's not something that is necessarily on a white paper or just a research study base, but some positive feedback from Rife machines. But again, it's not something we like Dr. Shealy said.
Well, and what do you think about scalar? Like different scalar. I mean, I know they're scalar, but they're also scalar devices. Do you think those are beneficial for health?
Well, I don't know about the average scalar. I know what ours is. It reduces
Yeah.
it reduces free radicals. That's its number one benefit.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for your work. I so appreciate it. And are you going to continue? I did the autogenic training. I started that in November.
Mhm.
And do we just keep? And then you referenced a course online.
Yes. Biogenics is it's a course that Dr. Shealy and I have recorded, and it includes 68 exercises, but it's more than that. It's just explanation of why, how, what, and how to basically get to the place of self-regulation. So it's a powerful course. It's a significant discount right now, special. So we just wanted the education to be out there right now. And I think if Matt or I guess our technical people can put a link on there for Biogenics course. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, I've been doing that for 2-3 hours a day. I'm loving it. And I'm loving that, loving it. And I just would encourage you, keep doing more of those if you have them.
We're creating all kinds of new things, right? Every day.
Wonderful.
We actually created a course on holistic pain management. It's almost ready to. Well, it's in the process, and the course on transcutaneous acupuncture, and so actually we're making an offer. Yeah, it's so for. And thank you. We're blessed. I mean, it's just to be able to have all this wisdom and knowledge coming from this great mind right there. I'm just honored. That's all. Yeah.
I hear you. Well, I hope you still have your magic wand. Our class bought you a magic wand that year because you're such a wizard.
Hey, blessings. Thank you. Blessings.
Take care. Blessings to you guys.
Have a good one.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Right.
And folks, now you can call. Actually, are we back online?
I know we're still on break. We've got about 2 more minutes.
Okay.
But for anybody out there on the Facebook Live or YouTube Live, you can call in, by the way.
At 417-447-1777.
Wonderful. The most important thing is information. Now, whether people decide to do something or don't do something, now again, that's not up. That you'll know in your gut whether something is right for you. But the bottom line is, make sure you know the options. Make sure you know what's out there, and take care of yourself in the best possible way.
We can't think for you. We can't drink, eat, breathe for you. You have to do it. We can suggest what you do, but we can't do any of it for you. On the other hand, you are responsible for taking care of yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be a drag on the other people. And that's something I don't think anyone would like to be, to drag down other people with them into their nonsense.
I like to say it in a slightly different way. There's a golden saying. It's like, do unto others as you would unto yourself. But I know it personally. I'm surrounded by lots of good people and lots of friends who are not taking care of themselves, but they're taking care of everybody else. And that's, I think, just as bad as not, the other way around. You as an individual are responsible for your own health. And if you're going to do good things for others, please make sure you have something in reserve so you can keep going, at the very least. But most, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. 15 seconds before we come back to the radio.
Now, back to Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Norm Shealy and Dr. Shealy-Sorin.
And now, 417-447-1777. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
I just had an abdominal ultrasound, and they found an 8-millimeter polyp, and I'm supposed to go in and talk to them.
What organ was that? There's
The
various.
colon, I presume.
The gallbladder.
Oh, gallbladder. Polyp.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah. Emergency room. You see all kinds of things. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm supposed to see the doctor in 2 weeks. We're supposed to discuss everything.
Yep.
Now, he did mention something in my portal about a possible intervention. So I assume that means they're thinking of maybe taking it out.
Possibly. And before, I'm just going to say one thing. Before you decide or agree to have the organ come out, I just want you to know that you cannot uncut something that's been cut. In other words, if they have a good reason for taking out the gallbladder, then I understand. I imagine medical science is pretty good with those things. But please make sure you have a real good explanation, understanding why that's happening, because otherwise, there's other options if it's not an emergency, so to speak, or you can go about it in a non-conventional ways.
Yeah, they've been watching this for the last year or two, and it's been going up from 6 millimeters, 7 millimeters. Now it's 8 millimeters.
Oh, it is going up. Okay, yeah.
It may well have to come out, but most people do pretty well after that, as long as they take bile acid salts.
That's one way.
Okay. So I don't know. I was just wondering what I'm in for here with this possible surgery.
Well, HSC is mostly done now, not even with open surgery.
Laparoscopic.
Yeah, laparoscopic is a lot less surgery involved than 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But still, I'll just say this. When you go to see the office, the doctor, make sure you have a very good, clear explanation for what the benefit and the risk. Because when you take out an organ that has a function in the body, and you have to replace the function, you have to again know why that's taking place and be very clear and be confident about that.
I will. I'll talk to him about all that. I'm 67, and I just heard that the magic number was 1 centimeter where it has to come out with a polyp. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the conventional wisdom that I'm aware of from the ER and So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just thought I'd run that by you, and I'll just have to figure it out when I see him. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
And, of course, remember, all year you need your vitamins, your supplements from a good health food store. And here Springfield is one, only one which I use, and you should too. Spring Valley Natural Food. Why do I like it so much? Because I don't have to search and wonder where I am. They come out and help you. They've got thousands of things. How are you going to find them on yourself the way you have to do it or the other stores? I've been in there twice and in the big store, and I will never go back because it's a waste of my time and energy. But at Spring Valley, they tell you where to get it, or they get it for you or take it right to the spot. And, of course, they carry all of my goodies. Dr. Shealy's Essential, Dr. Shealy's Youth Formula, Dr. Shealy's Bliss Oils, my magnesium lotion, Eugesterone cream. But the most important thing is they've got everything else you need at a premium health food store, Spring Valley. And, of course, in the real grocery stores, and there are very few in Springfield, they have Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Juice Concentrate in the produce department. Now, 1 ounce, 2 tablespoons of Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Juice is equal to 4 servings of premium fruits and vegetables. The average American gets only 2.2. So if you added just Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Juice, you're getting at least the basic essentials. And it's worth it. It tastes good. It lowers your cholesterol. It lowers your blood pressure. It's anti-inflammatory. Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Juice Concentrate. And go for it. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, Dr. Shealy. Perhaps you've addressed this question before, but I have not heard your response. If you have, what are your thoughts on the coronavirus?
I have to tell you what I think. I think the entire thing is a political scam.
There's let me say a few things there. There's many things I like to say right now. Many things I like to say right now. Now, first of all, I'm going to make a recommendation, without me saying some key words that will get us kicked out of everything, so that nobody can hear what we're saying whatsoever. I'm just going to say, your question is very good, and I certainly appreciate the direction. There's something called American Frontline Doctors. They spell everything out on the vaccines. They spell everything out, including research information and the effective treatments, not what you see and what you hear and the fear and all that nonsense. And when I'll share a little my personal experience. promised my people not to get into things that might get us, well, I'll just talk. Let's do this way. The situation is concerning in more than medical ways. It's this literally, a lot of it is mind control, fear control, pressure, and getting people to do things that we should not be doing with our health, wellness, and common sense. CS, common sense, is seems to be a terminal condition in our society, and trying to preach that, trying to talk about that is dangerous to your health and dangerous to your airways. I mean, I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm going to stop right there. So please use some common sense, and whatever you see in the media, in the news, just
Don't
remember,
trust it.
there's something called political warfare, informational warfare, and just like they had double spies who basically would deposit wrong information in the enemy camp, that's more powerful than any bullet. Just think about that, please.
Yes. Yes.
And
Thank you.
you're welcome, please. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Just again, check out the American Frontline Doctors, because they can say a lot of things that I cannot say right now. Because, like I said, otherwise every piece of wisdom or knowledge or word, even hello, in other words, it'll get bunched together, and we won't be able to say anything for the rest of our lives. So, on conventional means. So, I hope that explains or says a few things.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you're welcome, and
You
thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
God
Bless.
bless.
And folks, where do you want to
Oh, anywhere. Let's go anywhere in the world.
go? Well, I don't know any other place in the world that I want to go at the moment. There used to be a couple of places I'd like to go, but in today's world, I wouldn't travel if you took me privately. I think, I don't want to get exposed to more nonsense that I'm already exposed to.
Well, but let's travel to a place mentally. Let's travel to a place of health and wellness. If we have an opportunity to talk, think about your life and health. Now, you can, you hear about all about the products and this and that and offerings. It's not about that. It has nothing to do with that if it doesn't help your life. The bottom line is, if you look at your life and you look around and you're healthy and you're happy and you look great and you feel great, everything's fantastic, enjoy. But if things are not fantastic, if things are not great, the question is, do you have the basics? Do you have your lifestyle? And I won't go into, we don't have that much time to go over everything, but there's some things that are up to you, and nobody can take that away. We have a phone call coming in. Yeah.
And good afternoon. You're on the air.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
The great Dr. Norman Shealy and Dr. Sorio.
Big
How
Bob.
are you?
We're great.
Yes,
What's up?
sir. Well, I'm wanting to find out something. I've heard of something called Prevagen, and someone very dear to me is having a little bit of memory things going on. And I just wondered if there's some things that are as good or perhaps better for the memory, to cross the blood-brain barrier, that you might recommend, or combination mineral vitamins or whatever else in helping to get to those neurotransmitters and keeping that brain up and doing the job God created it to do.
Top of the list is vitamin D3, Bob.
D3.
Right after that is a good multivitamin like Dr. Shealy's Essentials. Right after that is adequate vitamin C, which is Dr. Shealy's Use Formula. And finally, astaxanthin, the strongest form of vitamin A. That combination is missing one to all of them in the average person in this country, which is polluted as a cesspool.
And is it a true statement that if people are very adequate, even with D3, and I'm sure all these others are very essential, but if they have the D vitamin, that quite often this COVID-19 won't even be able to take advantage of them? Is that a true statement?
Yeah, I'm gonna let me answer that and a little bit more focus. If a person has low vitamin D level, they will die of anything, a simple cold, a viral, or anything else, even the C word. Now, so the C word is not what scares us. Let's put it that way. It's the fact that people are unhealthy and don't take care of themselves. They don't have enough basic support. You do that, you have nothing to worry about, literally nothing.
And of course, remember, thanks to our government, 75% of the rain in this country has Roundup in it.
Glyphosate.
Oh, God.
And thanks to the city, our water is fluoridated, which is the second greatest poison in the history of the world.
And chloride.
Well, fluoridated.
Yeah. No.
But it's junk. It is poison. So don't drink city water and fire every election. Everybody on the city council. Kick everybody of the bastards out. They're all crazy.
Absolutely. One last question. What can we do to purify this nasty chlorine fluoride stuff that's all throughout, if you're using any city water? What filter system do you recommend in purifying the water?
Well, we at the office we use a Berkey filter. It's the simplest thing that I know.
For drinking. But Bob, I'm gonna make a suggestion. If you can do something for the whole house, I mean,
Of course.
I don't remember what it is in our house, and it was a little expensive putting in, but maybe 5,000-6,000, I think. But it was worth it because we had it forever, and it's everything: shower, sink, just the entire thing.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. Happy New Year.
Have a good one, Bob. And good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, Dr. Shealy. I was wondering if you could tell me what I can help my daughter get. She's electing to have surgery, and I was wondering what I could give her to boost her immune system or help her through the surgery.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the things that are useful for boosting your immune system have to be stopped the week before surgery because they can cause excess bleeding. So if the surgery is coming soon, I would not add anything until afterwards.
Well, it's the 18th of February.
Oh, we have time.
Okay, until the 11th of February, then she should take vitamin D3. Do you know how much she weighs?
About 130.
Okay, 50,000 units every 10 days.
Okay.
D3. Dr. Shealy's Youth Formula, 4 every day. Dr. Shealy's Essentials, 2 every day. And astaxanthin, ASTAXANTHIN, 10 milligrams every day. Now, after surgery, she should get those back on herself right away and add also beta glucan, 500 milligrams every day.
Perfect, and that's exactly what I was going to say. And the biggest thing is maintain general good health habits as much as possible. That's a huge immune factor. Very simple to do on your own naturally as well.
Avoid wheat. No wheat's poisoned by Roundup. No wheat, no rice. Rice is almost as bad as pure sugar.
Oh, okay.
No Irish potatoes. I mean, they're junk. They're just pure carbohydrate junk. And no sugar, of course.
Okay, I think she's pretty close to all those things. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Well, blessing to you and her.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay, so, folks, every day in every way you can be better and better because every thought is a prayer. And thinking sets in motion spiritual forces to bring about change in everything.
And the changes that I'd like to talk about, if you haven't done this already, and let's talk about the foundation of health again. And this is a good summary to every radio show, I think, if we have a chance. So we have a few minutes. Lifestyle. Lifestyle, that's yours. You can do it. If you choose to do it, you'll do this with a fantastic, tremendous favor for the rest of your life, especially if you're younger. Get into a good habit. Second, moving forward, adequate supplementation. Dr. Shealy mentioned some pretty essential things, a good B complex. By the way, part of the DHEA package, and we got to talk about that, is a youth formula, vitamin C, but with any kind of vitamin C you need a good B complex.
Yes, if
essential.
you don't take adequate B6 especially, but B complex is better.
Yeah.
You can have a kidney stone from taking over 100 milligrams of vitamin C a day.
Exactly.
But you'll never get one if you take adequate B complex with your vitamin C.
So that's essentials and youth formula. Now, in addition to that,
And at least 80% of people are deficient in magnesium.
That's right.
And taking it by mouth is a waste of time and money.
Perfect. On top of that, we're talking about transcutaneous acupuncture, BLISS oils with the 5 circuits with tremendous benefit. And I do want to remind, there's a special on that. If you get the 5 sets of oils, you can actually get the course, which is a tremendous value at no charge. And that still stands. And of course, there's the DHEA, which is dehydroepiandrogenase. If you don't know what it is and if you want to get tested, you can talk to us. But chances are, if you're questioning or thinking, you are deficient. So there's 4 ways to make DHEA, and that's also available. realholisticdoc.com. Lots of information, lots of power. Information is power. If you have knowledge, you can do things.
And I want to remind people, you go to that website, and sign up for my free email newsletter, and you get my favorite of all, Autogenic Focus, free of charge. And it is the number one thing that I recommend for all people. Now, just yesterday, I had a wonderful consultation with a 10-year-old young boy and his mother. And of course, for that age, I recommend the brief autogenic training rather than the longer one. But every single human being should be doing it. And you are on the air. Hello? Are you there?
Hi. Yes. Who could I talk to about advertising?
No, you're calling the wrong thing for advertising. This is the Shealy-Sorin Wellness Show.
Okay.
Thank you. Every day and every way we are confused.
I think, that wasn't exactly, Rob, we have a couple of callers or questions. Can we go over those?
There's some discussion, but no particular questions.
Okay. So, yeah, all right. That's always good to have friends online there. But, friends, family, wellness family. Yeah. What was the number again? Let's see. 417-447-1777.
Of course.
Yeah. Health and wellness. It's a choice. It's an option. And whether you do it or whether you don't, that's a personal decision, but I hope you do this.
Now, if you don't do exercise, let's take second to breathing and eating, to me, is out of a physical exercise. This morning, somebody called me at 6:10 and wanted to know why I had answered the email. And I said, well, I don't do anything until I've exercised 2 hours. I don't even feed the dog until I've exercised 2 hours. And if you're not exercising a minimum of 30 minutes, 5 days a week, you are a slob. And you deserve your poor health. Okay, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I wanted to ask, I've watched your show a couple times, and I hear you guys always talk about finding that tart cherry juice in a real grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's a real grocery store in this town? Because there's not many.
Hardy House.
Okay, thank you for that. And I also wanted to thank you so much for what you're doing. I've listened to you now for several weeks. But I also want to know, I hear what not to eat. Tell me what you eat, because I'm not good with food. I grew up with bad habits, continue them.
Okay.
But
let me make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Start your day with a slush. And the slush should include 24 grams of whey protein.
Okay.
And you can put, if you're taking the vitamins, you can put all those into the slush, but then add at least 1 scoop of ORAC rich greens.
Oh, okay.
And 1 package, which is 5 grams of my favorite.
Oryx.
Oleander.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Moringa.
Moringa.
Oh, moringa. I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. And that actually is an adequate breakfast.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
I mean, that now for dinner tonight, Sergey and I are going to have one of my other favorites.
Oof, can't
A-
wait. Yeah.
Baby clams slushed with a scoop of whey protein. It's like an instant clam chowder. High protein, excellent taste, goes down, digests well, etc., etc. But
Yes.
in addition, I get actually a total of 20,000 ORACs, equivalent 20 servings of fruits and vegetables in the things I add to my food.
I'm going to add a few things, just a general concept. Think 80-20. 80% veggies, lean, or basically green leafy, various colors, cruciferous. But the concept is non-starchy. That's also good for your pH. It helps you be more alkaline, as opposed to a lot of people are too acidic, blood-wise.
Yeah.
And 20% good quality proteins, some fruits, some things. And again, moderation. Anything goes, but if you can get closer to that, and of course cut the junk out, that's the first stop.
Well,
Remember, in the grocery store, don't buy any food off the center aisles. It's junk.
That's what I'm trying to change.
No boxed cereal.
Shop the perimeter.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It is an interesting world out there. And, of course, the most important part of that interesting world is taking care of yourself. So if you're not going to exercise, you're not going to eat real food, good luck. I can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop smoking for you. I can't breathe for you. I can't do anything for you except advise you what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Every thought is a prayer. Don't pray to badness. Don't pray to nonsense. You are responsible for taking care of yourself. And, we can help you, but we're not responsible. Now, if you are a parent, you're also responsible for teaching your kids these good habits. Because by the time they're 18, if they haven't already got the good habits, they're in trouble. As a matter of fact, even in teenagers, I believe at least 60% now are overweight. It didn't even happen when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today it happens because of junk food and inadequate physical exercise.
Many things to discuss.
And until next week, the program is all yours to take care of yourself every moment of every day.
And for those who are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, stick around for a few more minutes after we do this, and I'll make a few more statements for whoever's interested in listening. So now this is where I'm going to have to walk the line kind of carefully, because again, we want to stay on line, and we want to bring you the good, the health, the wellness, the mind, body, spirit. But I do need to say something to get something off my chest. And if I don't do it, again, I'm not doing the right thing. Bottom line is my number one rule in life is our rule in life: do the right thing no matter what. Just make sure that you speak your truth, whatever the truth you know best. A lot of nonsense going around in any way, in all ways possible. And again, I grew up in the former Soviet, in Russia. We understood certain things very young. If you want to know the truth, if you want to know what's happening, you have to learn to read between the lines. And they also have to learn who the friends and enemies are, so to speak. And if you know that something has been so you cannot trust. Let's say I cannot trust a person standing in front of me once, twice, three times. The fourth time that they say something, am I going to listen to what they have to say? No, they've lost my respect. That's no longer qualified information. And if they say something, especially forcefully, I'm going to have to be watched for what is their intention. Why are they doing that? So the concept and the idea is we are indeed in a war. It's a state of war. It's a war for information versus misinformation, health versus dis-ease, lack of ease. It's a war on many levels: mental, emotional, spiritual. And the number one thing that we need to do, we have to be we have to do for ourselves is take care of ourselves, number one. And that's what this show is all about. We bring you the tools, the resources. Again, if this is right for you, enjoy it. If it's not, that's okay. Just listen and learn and take what you can from it. But the idea is take care of yourself as an individual and help the world do something good.
Otherwise, halitosis is better than no breath at all, but it ain't good.
It ain't good. And last but not least, go within, and this is a wonderful time during difficulty of all sorts to find out who you are. What is your true nature? What makes you you? And then once you do, stay true to yourself. Speak your truth. Do the right thing. And love, not fear. That's all I got to say. Love, not fear. Have a good one.